Jambo. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever went out to look for a job, or maybe you have an experience of looking for a job or finding a job? You know what I'm talking about, that struggle of looking for something to do to sustain your life or to earn a living, right? So based on our experiences and what we hear, what we see around happening here, we decided to have this episode, me and my guest here, so that we can talk about real things, real conversation, things that are happening in our day-to-day lives. And this right here, the job seeking and, job opportunities finding is one of the things that happen to us most of the time, and especially to the young generations and even the older one. And I mean, there's no limit to when you can go out looking for a job. So that's why I had to get my guest here so we can talk about it. I'm sure this is the first time you're seeing the one in the middle, and there's a time you saw the other one on the end. So I'm gonna give them a chance real quick to introduce themselves. They say ladies first, right? Yeah, so we're gonna start from here. Then the gentleman on the end tell us who they are and why they're here. Let's start with her.
Hi guys, my name is Tiana. I'm a business lady.
Yeah, she say Tian. What do you say?
Tian.
Aye. Make yourself comfortable. The gentleman over there.
Okay, yeah, my name King of Travel, but they know me as KOT. Just another beautiful day, Mother Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? From the United States of America
Yeah.
to the motherland.
Exactly. So man, speaking about jobs, jobs and that struggle of finding a job, man. You've been in Kenya for some times now, coming and going back. You've been meeting the youths, especially having senior interactions with the youths, Kenyan youths. When you talk about finding a job is a real thing, it's a real thing. A lot of youths are on the streets over there. Everyone are trying to find something to do. Yeah, man, I think it is something we really need to talk about, and the process of job hunting, Yeah, so maybe from our guest here, the introduction was so just short. I mean, you can go deep and at least break down to the topic, get somewhere to start from,
I would like to start with job hunting.
Yeah.
The reality and the expectations.
Yeah.
Mostly for us, we grew up knowing that you get into school, you read, you get the qualifications and the skills, and then you get that job that you are learning.
Yeah.
But deep down, we really fail to understand we really fail to understand that job hunting, it's something that is not simple, it's something that is not easy. Because you have to try, to keep on trying, you keep on applying for different jobs, different departments, and you still fail to get the job.
Yeah, speaking about expectation and realities, KOT, don't you think that somehow, as the youths, we are being lied to because you follow everything, okay? Go to school, qualify for something, get qualifications, and you start now hunting for a job. And there are those expectations that you create for yourself after qualifying. Now I'm a graduate and I'm an engineer, right? So I think I stand a chance. In a way, I can miss a job. So those are expectations you create for yourself, but somehow it's not real. It's not actually real. I mean, you just go to school, qualify for a job, and now apply, get a job, start earning the money. What is your take on that?
From what I see in a lot of people's cases, they go to school for certain jobs, but in the end, they don't have a job. They don't have no openings for the job. I would suggest to anybody, honestly, like if you going to school and say you're going to school for a job, you got to make sure it's a high demand for that job.
Yeah.
I don't know much about in Kenya and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's a high demand for nurses, doctors, maybe electricians. But I can tell you for sure that a lot of people go to school and they waste their time. Comparison to even in America, I've heard so many people come to me and say that I went to school for business. Okay, so you went to school for business, but at the end of the day, you still don't know how to run a business. You see? So in the schooling system, from what I noticed, that they hype a lot of people with these different opportunities, you see? But then when it comes out here, they don't even know how to execute the opportunity. You go apply applications after applications, you still don't have a job. So man, it's just, it's not an easy situation for a lot of people, and that's the reality, you know? And right now, especially in 2026, I don't, the way it seems like it might be getting worse because of AI technology. Because AI is showing us that they're much smarter than us as human beings. And for an example, if you think I'm playing with you, ask ChatGPT to type your resume and see how fast ChatGPT can type your resume. So if you question right now in 2026, man, I don't know, brothers. It seemed like a struggle for a lot of people, but hopefully they come up with a system that's going to allow people to be able to still be successful in life. And if not, they need to come up with some type of check or something to give people to be able to survive.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion or my take on what I'm seeing out here. I see a lot of the youth, and I deal with a lot of even the younger generation over here. You know, I see everybody trying to hustle. You know, everybody trying to sell something to make it. But you know what I'm saying? But they making it, you know, and I question somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for an example, if I see this business selling stuff, this next business selling the same thing, this next business selling the same thing, like, I question. But the competition is like, y'all all neighbors doing the same thing. But I don't know. You know, y'all opinion, how are they making it out here to survive? Are they barely surviving? You know?
I really think when it comes to jobs, like formal jobs, you know, that requires you to go to school, get qualifications, then come apply for these jobs. I think that's where most youths sink in depression, because you went to school, you know, you did all you did, you qualified. Now you're out here looking for jobs. This is where now reality starts kicking in. I think when you was in school, it was kind of fantasy because there was high expectation built in you. You know, man, you're qualified. When you get out there, companies and departments will be fighting for you because you're qualified. And sometimes when you talk about expectation and versus the realities, this person, after qualifying to be like maybe a neurosurgeon, maybe, or whatever. So when you out here, what you like, okay, you have something built in your mind that I really cannot settle for less. If this place is not hiring me and paying me this amount of money, I ain't taking it. So what you do, you tarmac for a long time before settling for a job, or maybe finally deciding, oh, not at all, I don't want to get employed, because if I started this very hard course, so you can employ me and tell me to start from somewhere down. No. All right.
But I want to tell you this too, man. I just believe in the system when it even comes to jobs and qualifying people in big positions. I feel like a lot of it is a setup. Let me tell you why I say this, because let's say you're going to school for a doctor. As you go and you study for a doctor, let me ask you something in Kenya. Do they have GPAs out here? Like, GPA means like you keep a certain score to maintain to keep going up. Do they have that?
Like you keep studying.
Okay, like let's say for an example, you go to school to become a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, to become a doctor is much harder than you becoming a school teacher. Because becoming a doctor, you make more money than a school teacher. Now, the question is, if you start to fail, because let's say right now the test that they're giving you can't process it fast enough to get the jobs done correctly. So now your GPA start going down. I don't know what you mean. Maybe I'll just say your grades start going down.
Yeah.
So it's now affecting you mentally and emotionally to be able to be successful in that subject. So now instead of you say, man, I can't make it to become a doctor, man, because I just can't get
the grades.
I can't get the grades. You see? So that's another big problem too. You know, because I don't know so many people, even coming from the U.S., that went to school to become a doctor, but for some reason, they brain wasn't processing fast enough, like the next person brain processing, to be able to stay focused, to become that doctor. So that's another big situation happening too, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You know, are you built?
I've had friends who dropped this course and took another one because they couldn't like
That's what
do
I
it.
mean.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe the case with females might be different. I don't know about that on your take when it comes to job expectation, your expectations as a person, as a qualified person, versus realities when it comes to a female perspective. What runs to your brain when you get out of school? Now, after studying, you have these qualifications. What is that running in your mind, and what you coming out to the real world out here?
So let me say this before maybe you start talking about it, but I feel one of the biggest difficulties for a female to be successful in life is now she facing her schoolwork comparison to a relationship.
Yeah.
So now she gets a boyfriend and he's a big distraction. A lot of them end up getting pregnant and can't be successful, you see? So now that's a battle right there by itself. You see, it's like they say you could be book smart, but now you street dumb.
Yeah.
Because now you out from mom and them house, mom and daddy who used to discipline you, you're in the free world. So now that's another battle that females gonna face. Is that true, or I'm just, I'm in a fantasy world right now?
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, another challenge for we as females we do face.
Yeah.
It's when you're going to look for a job. Mostly, if you find the HR or the manager is a male,
Yeah.
they use us for as harassment, sexually harassment.
Yeah.
Whereby you find that the HR of the manager is trying to tell you must sleep with them
Oh, damn.
so that they can apply the work for you, or they can post you somewhere. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's creepy though. And you know, the problem is that is actually almost normalized, you know?
But you know what though, man? Let me be open with you about that. I had a talk with a female just the other day about that, and I didn't believe what she said, but now you saying it too. So they must be do that a lot in Kenya.
It is.
In America, you pull that, it's over. The boss is over. They don't play that in the U.S., bro.
Right here is really common. And I mean, ask any lady who has been out here hunting for a job. Let's say in like a rate of 5 offices that she would step in, at least 3 of those bosses, if they are males, they will just ask for something else. Hey, what do you have to offer apart from these papers? Put them aside. Actually, speaking about that, I don't know if you've seen, maybe on these social platforms, especially let's talk about media platforms, radios and televisions. Previous, I think it used to happen like you have to go to school, do whatever media study and stuff, then come apply for a job in a radio station or a TV. But right now, when you go to TikTok right now and do something crazy and you're viral, you hired because you pull numbers, okay? So it's not about qualification no more. So for example, if right now a lady will come to TikTok and, you know, show what mama gave her and, you know, she enticed a lot of people there, you know, application will be there. I mean, they will come looking for her.
Yeah.
Hey, come be our brand ambassador. Come work for this office and the job, and the boss will be willing to give her a job based on what she has, you know.
Yeah. Based on the fame.
Yeah. And now that she's a lady and she's vulnerable, and the boss might take advantage of that. So I really think it's something really troublesome, and not just ladies, by the way. It's not just ladies, actually even men. You go to an office, you find that HR is a female and you're just a young man. She tell you something else. Hey, apart from this.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, man. Because you're absolutely right. People are hiring you on the base of the hype, especially through the TikTok. And I'm gonna give you a situation for an example with me. Y'all ever heard of Gole for Bongoma?
Yeah.
Gole for Bongoma. Before they even looked at him, Soko, and I could say this out live, it's all because of the fact, after the whole thing was, I was the one who gonna bring him to the United States of America. After his name started billing and getting bigger and bigger, now here comes Soko coming through the door. You see? So you're right, it's all about the hype. And that's a part right there too, where people picking you up when you become famous. The more famous you become, now you're more relevant to them.
Yeah.
you're not famous, who are you? And it's sad but true.
Yeah.
And the whole thing when it comes to even TikTok and what's going on social media right now, bro, it's like, it goes to show you they can make whoever they want famous. If you think about it, it's all who the algorithm push. I done see the algorithm push people just for walking up the road. But then when somebody comes with some real good content, the algorithm don't even look at them. So we facing that battle too in this world.
And you see this, that has really ruined the formal system, because if someone is studying in school, you're in school doing medicine or you're doing engineering, and you've seen this lady who just was a class 8 dropper, primary school dropper, and she out here, she just good looking. That's the only qualification she has.
That's it.
Just good looking, and she can access TikTok and dance and do her stuff, and she's hired or she's given a very big opportunity. A position in Kenya, maybe sometimes even in government offices, minister of whatever just appointed this lady to represent a certain department because she went viral on TikTok. And there was a lady who's in school studying very hard to get this qualification to come and apply for that job. So they kind of start feeling like it's useless to stay in school,
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's true, because it's almost like it don't matter that you work hard. The hype on someone is bigger than working hard. You could have been in school for 10 years. I mean, like really doing what need to be done. But somebody, because they went viral on TikTok, in 2 weeks they get a job over you. You see?
Yeah. So we're speaking about qualification versus the hype right now as females. What do you think is happening in their minds right now? Do now females start thinking about getting much into the hype, look for a way to go viral, maybe to present yourself out here in a way? For example, if you go to 10 offices looking for a job, and all of those bosses are telling you to sleep with them so they can give you a job. So what do you do? Do you say to hell with the job, or you might end up, there's a percentage of females who will end up like submitting to it because I need a job. I mean, I've been giving this to a lot of men out there for free. Why don't I just do it and have the job? How does it go?
Okay, it depends with someone. If you lower your standards, of course you will have to sleep with the person. But if you have a target and you know what you're looking for, you won't sleep with them. You just say, put the job aside, and then.
But now speaking about standards and you're needy. Remember at this point you're vulnerable. You're needy. You need this job. You need this money. Will you still hold to your standards? What are those standards? And you don't have the job. See, this is that's the same reason that boss has the power to tell you all those kind of things, because he know standards and vulnerability, they don't go hand in hand. You need the job, you will do whatever it takes.
So let me ask you this. They don't have a law in Kenya to stop stuff like that?
They are actually, but I'm not really sure if this lady who is jobless and she needs a job will have another power or another tactic to go and handle this boss who wanted to sleep with her. I mean, how? This is the problem. She is looking for a job. She doesn't have a job. That's what means she doesn't have connections. Okay? So how again is she going to come out and fight a boss in his position and he's powerful? That's the problem right there. I really think when it comes to laws are not really strict in that part. Yeah, they're not really strict. Yeah, so I was asking her a question. What happens if you go to 10 offices and all of them are asking you to do that? What are you going to do? Are you not going to get a job, or are you just going to be jobless because you don't want to do it?
I may feel like it all depends with someone.
Yeah.
Some of the people might sleep with the HR, and some of them will just give it off. Like, you just assume it's...
You can't do it.
See, this is the question, or the scary part is this, like...
Yeah.
My mind, this is how I think about it. That's kind of wrong for a boss to even treat someone like that just because they're in position. And me personally, I don't think a woman should do that, because she's setting herself up, because this boss might just be using that tactic, then 3 weeks later you get fired. But he done got what he wanted. You see? Like, that's not a guarantee, even longevity.
And they do that, by the way.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah,
like
they do that.
you using your position to manipulate women into, you see? Nah, man, I can't agree with that. I think that's disrespectful. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally,
I mean, nobody agrees with that, but it's something that is happening. That's why I really think it's good to talk about it. Yeah, and not just government offices, even any other informal. Somewhere, this guy has an organization he's running, and he's asking for positions for females.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My opinion on it, I think a lot of females should report a boss like that. They should report a boss, and
Where? That's the question.
they can't.
Especially in this Kenya.
Wow, they can't report to government
They
facilities.
can, they can. And the question is, how you gonna? You see, now you have to go to court. Have a lawyer, and that guy will never appear there. He's just going to send his lawyer, right? So he has some money to pump in there, and so he's gonna make your life so miserable. I guess that's the reason why most females they fear to just go that route or reporting, or maybe dealing with this boss. But they know this guy is doing something really wrong. But now fighting him, unless I'm maybe on the social media and stuff like that.
That's a problem by itself. Yeah. Because honestly, like my thing is, I feel like if a boss want to play that kind of position, they should have something in place where they could shut that boss down too, and they could take his position. Since you want to manipulate women just because they want to work hard in life, and you want to try to seduce them in the bedroom, or they can't have an opportunity to better themselves, they need to get out of position too. Wow. Yeah, that's just, man, doesn't make any sense. You see, let him see how I feel. You see?
Yeah.
Because somebody else told me that, and the lady told me, say straight up, I wasn't going to sleep with him, and I lost my job. She said, that's why I'm messed up right now, because I won't sleep with the boss.
Yeah, I've had another friend of mine who still, right now, she's still struggling to get a job because there was this prominent person who asked, there were a group of like 3 ladies, asked them, all of them, I mean, just do this one thing and you have the job. 2 of them did, they got a job. But this one lady said, hell no, I can't do it,
And then they say it's not good to mix business with pleasure anyway. So how they doing that? Like,
it's just taking advantage,
Wow.
In your experience, you ever met such a boss or something? I mean, someone in any position, hey, I don't really think it's just the officers. Anyway, you find someone on a higher rank and you need their services or their favor, they may try to take advantage of that. Most of the time. What's your experience?
Honestly, I haven't experienced such a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now that you know what's going on, if you happen to meet someone like that in an office, and they want to do that to you, what's going to be your next move?
Of course, I can't do anything. For me, I won't accept whatever the guy may be telling me to offer besides the papers.
Yeah.
Just assume, like, if you can't give me a job with my papers, why should I sleep with you? So for me, I can say no.
You will say no. And now, imagine that this is something that's happening, okay? This is something that's happening all over. So you walk to office. This is 1 year after graduating or maybe qualifying for that job. You're out here looking for that job. You go another year, you're jobless, you still need some money. You go another year, and you reach a point where you feel like, you're giving up. And you have only this one thing to do. What happens? And maybe you met this person who that's the first thing they told you to get the job. If you tell them no, and what do? You just walk and leave him like that because he's just going to do that to other people. I mean, it's not actually ladies' fault not to handle that, but because sometimes you don't know if the system does not favor you. Yeah, because these people they talk about it's not what you know, it's who you know. Understand that?
Well, you know what, man. My opinion to any lady that's facing that type of situation, I think if it's a will, it's a way. Let me tell you why I say that. If you got paperwork, I think what that female should do is just continue to push in other directions till she find a way and slip through the crack. When I say slip through the crack, man, like, I feel like what happens in a lot of cases with people is maybe because even though this person right here might try to manipulate you, don't stop at that person. It have to be more opportunities out here. And I think that's the part of life right there where you have to push yourself to the next level. And say, you know what, since John want to act like that, now hi, let me go try another job. You know what I'm saying? Then at that point, that's when you need to go on the internet and type in there, maybe who can I contact for job opportunities that I'm having trouble with. And maybe it's a phone number you could contact and get somebody on your side. Sometimes you gotta push beyond your reality of what you was told. Because I have seen so many people have opportunities to actually become successful when they didn't let a roadblock stop them. When I say a roadblock, it's like, okay, I got a degree. I went out here and figured that I could get a job for this company, but they're not allowing me to get this job. But they pushed beyond that until a door had opened.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they got a call, listen, we want you to come in for an interview. So I think honestly, like sometimes you just gotta push beyond what you feel in your reality. You know what I'm saying? That's when you gotta have that faith, man. Like, and I believe a lot of people don't have that faith, bro. Like they just stop. You know? And I could say that even in life too, man. Like you don't know how many times like it seemed like the door was closed, but I keep pushing till a door opened. And that's why I could tell you I'm successful right now in life. Yeah, you know, but I'm just being real, bro. Like some people stop at one roadblock. And that's you trying to get that job, and John telling you, say, okay, you want this job, this is what I need from you. John, no, wait, it ain't gonna work over here. Got to keep pushing. Sure. Yeah. Because I believe in life, it's a lot of hidden opportunities out here. But a lot of people don't see it, they don't understand. It's something they call a supernatural.
Yeah.
You got to read up on and understand the supernatural. Yeah. And you just got to push beyond your expectations until a door open. Even if you have to maybe go into a different field until this field is open, you just got to push there. You just got to keep going. Yeah.
So, for example, here in Kenya, as a youth, you find like maybe employment is not really working, or maybe opportunities are not really limited. They are really limited. People who are holding offices, they're not really ready to let go, or maybe to get other people occupying the office. You've been there working for 35 years. You have to work until you retire. And how long? It's going to take a lot of time. And each year, a lot of people are graduating from universities. So finding that position, for example, the one that most people are qualified for, you're there like 200 of you sitting in an interview. What makes you think you're going to qualify? And they're looking for two positions. So there's scarcity of job opportunities here. That's why you see most youths are trying to create their own opportunities and jobs, stuff coming up with things like digital stuff, content creation like this, and opening podcasts like this, maybe starting, traveling and stuff. So everyone is trying to do whatever they want to be able to make it, because now the system is not favoring most youths out here. Yeah. If you go back and check the records, how many people are coming out of university every single year? A lot, bro. And how many jobs opportunities are there for them? Very limited. True. Very limited.
That's true. But you know one thing, I want to tell you this. The weird thing about it, what I don't understand about this world, it is just saying in Kenya, you know how many people even in the United States waste their time in college? But for some reason, they still surviving. So I question, like how is the people still surviving?
Yeah.
But the opportunities ain't presented there. It's maybe family members helping, they give them some kind of assistance. So it's something, I don't know.
Maybe the nature, nature knows how to balance people. Well, I'm jobless, but I'm still living.
You still living. Because let's just say, for an example, I meet someone and they be like, okay, well, I ain't got this money, I ain't doing this and doing that. I said, well, how were you surviving before you met me? I mean, you seem pretty healthy to me. I mean, like, the way you talking right now, you're supposed to be skin and bones. I mean, but you seem all right. I mean, so I don't know, man. Life just got a way to balance itself out, and And this is a touchy situation right now, but the only thing we could do at this point, especially in 2026, man, is just have faith, I guess. That's the only thing I could tell you, brother, because it's not getting better, it's getting worse.
Getting worse every day.
Hey,
Very worse every day.
And I'm thinking that they're going to come up with some kind of system in the future to help people out who not.
I'm not really thinking so, Kioti.
You don't
Trust
think
me.
so?
You know, see, previously, you only needed to go school, qualify for this job, and you go apply for the job you qualify for, right? But right now, opportunities that are coming, for example, right now, in this space, they need someone who is able to work with AI. Do you know how long it's going to take for the system of schools right now to implement things to do with AI? A lot of time. Right now in school, people are still studying the 1800s computers. The in-shell computers and analog TVs. So for the system to come and implement what is going on right now and to study, because it's moving so fast, very fast. So you need someone to be flexible and, to know how to maneuver in these streets. And, every day when an opportunity shows up, there are people who jump on it. And there are people who still believe in the system and people who want to still go the normal route, the normal pace. So that's why that gap will forever be there. There's no way that you're going to bridge that gap.
Okay, so that's what I mean when you have to have that extra push. I know not everybody going to have it, and a lot of people going to get left behind. I believe that's just how the world turning, especially now. Let's just say, for an example, the AI technology getting bigger and bigger. And you have some people that's still connected to what they used to been doing, not realizing that, okay, you could go ahead for this degree and that degree, but in reality, the same degree that you're going for, AI is taking over that. So once you go and start learning on the computer how to run the AIs in the background instead of you continue on the same path you've been on, you see? I mean, brother, we have to shift the gears. We got to see which way the world is turning and turn which way the world turning, you see? And honestly, bro, that's the best thing I can say, bro. It's hard for me to just tell you from what I'm seeing in the world, because this kind of stuff been happening with colleges, bro. This ain't nothing new, cuz. I guarantee the majority, even Americans, wasting their time in the school system. Waste of time, bro. Like,
I saw some data. A company like Amazon, they did some mass layoffs. Hundreds of thousands of people are jobless overnight. You woke up in the morning, you're jobless because the job that 100 of you used to do, AI is doing them in fractions of seconds.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust, bro, and think, okay, now what next? Right here in Kenya, you see, maybe you're speaking about global or globally, maybe in the US, could be different. And here in Kenya, for example, the struggle that a Kenyan youth or a lady in Kenya is struggling with, I don't really think is the same thing that a lady in the US is struggling with. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm just thinking. Because, for example, let me ask the lady here, what are the sum of struggles that the Kenyan ladies are struggling with to find a job and maybe create their own opportunities? Or if you can't find a job, then they may tell you, create your own. So what are those things that maybe Kenyan ladies are struggling with to find a job or to create their own opportunities?
I can say connection, job connection, or the connection matters.
Yeah.
If you have something, or you have how do I phrase this? Like, if you have studied for something, and you really need to be employed, if you don't have a connection to whatever you have studied for,
a connection to mean someone that you know.
Yeah. That's a challenge to us.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I just found this out the other day. I never knew this. But a partner of mine told me, he said this one of his female friends was coming to visit him and was going to connect him, and they got some kind of apartment situation set up here where you don't pay no money a month. I said, oh yeah, they got that in Kenya? He said, yes. So I didn't ever know that. So is that true? Because that's what they do in America with a lot of people, especially the ladies. Because they don't have, so the ones that don't have a job opportunity, they call it Section 8. So they pretty much, they live in the projects, they got like certain facilities set up. They don't got to pay no rent, and they give them a certain amount of money a month to live. Do they have any of that in Kenya?
I don't think so.
But that's what my partner, he's from Kenya.
There is nothing like that here in Kenya, bro. Unless there is a very serious calamity happening in a place, floods really displace people, they will bring relief food or stuff. But a facility that is taking care of people and giving them IDPs maybe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
There's nothing like that in Kenya. You gotta die for your own.
Wow.
Work for your own.
Because
she spoke about connection. So this person who just got out of school, a lady who does know nobody. How do somebody in the office expect you to know someone you just got out of school? Oh, well, I hear someone talk about experience. Yeah, you just qualify. You just got out of school today. They needed to have like a 5-year qualification, 5-year experience. So how do you handle such things? You go to an office. I'm here to apply for this. They need you to have 5 years experience. Where do you get that experience from? How do you go with that? As a female,
when you finish your studies, there is internships.
Yeah.
You find a company wants some people to work for them, let's say for free, because internship, some of them are for free.
Yeah.
That's where you get the experience. But of course, no one will employ you for like 2 to 3 years of internship, just for a few months.
Yeah.
3 to 6 months.
And do ladies really have that patience to work for free for some time to gain experience, to look for a job? Maybe. Some of them.
Some of them. If you know what you are up to, of course you will have the patience
to work those interns.
Yeah. I mean, because in America it's the same thing too. When you go to college, they don't get paid to go to college. You got to work for some years to get them degrees. You know what I'm saying? But the only difference over there, a lot of people get some assistance from the government to help pay them through college. I'm still wondering how people survive in Kenya. They say kids got to, you know what I'm saying? They paying kids school fees, but they paying it. So I don't know, bro. It's puzzled me, but hey, I don't know. Where the people getting the money from? So they getting it from somewhere.
I would say studying is not really, I mean, that process of going to school, the government really facilitated that a lot. It comes through a lot. When you're in college, you receive what we call HELP. It's like student loans. You have that in America, right? Student loans. So we have them here in Kenya too. You apply, you get some money, you pay for the school fee. They pay, then they send some for upkeep. So that happens. And I guess you have to have some qualifications. But I guess even in a county level, county governments and stuff, there are those things we call bursaries, like funds. An MCA, your representative from your place, will sign a check for you to pay some fees that is funded by the government. So I really think that process is not that much hard. The only headache here comes when you're finding out the job after studying for all that time, spending your money, because maybe the parents have this expectation. They took you to school. They want you to find a job and come back and, give a hand back. So that is where the problems start kicking in. You started and you came out here. And I really think most of the time people come out of school with a lot of high expectation that, this is just me and this is money. Because any place I would go, they would be fighting for me because I started. I went to school. I went to school.
You know one thing though, man. I think it's even deeper than you just studying. I mean, when I say deeper, it's that mindset you have too. Like I tell you, I believe it's hidden doors of opportunity out there, but it depends on how passionate, ambitious you are, and understanding the supernatural. When I say the supernatural, man, that's when you got to pray and ask for guidance and position, and I believe over time you'll get it. I just believe a lot of people don't do that. They don't believe that it could happen like that. If they don't see it in front of them and they get knocked down the first time, that's it. They don't believe that if I keep on pushing, I could eventually make something happen. That's just how I feel, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. But a lot of people not built to position themselves to keep going. They just not, the first, like I say, the first door closed, they feel that it's over. That don't mean it got to be over. I don't believe that's the only person that could give you that job opportunity. You see? And let me give you an example. Let's just say right now, right? You went to a certain, interview, and then a workout, and sometimes you got to be open with the next person. Listen, man, like, I work hard for where I'm at in life. I got this degree. I work hard for it, but and I'm just trying to be a successful person in life. And this is what I experienced at this place right here, and that's not why I'm not there. It's kind of being open-minded with life, man. I believe, man, you got some people that'll work something out for you, man. I mean, but a lot of people, especially the ladies, like you say, as soon as one person intimidates them, they feel like everybody gonna do the same thing. And that ain't true. You do have some good people out here. You see?
Sure.
Yeah.
Even though they are not many of them, but good people out here.
Yeah.
And speaking about supernatural and praying for stuff, let's talk about opportunities in diaspora, outside Africa. This person who is in Kenya, a Kenyan youth, a female and a boy child, sometimes you find these agencies, there are a lot of them. Most of them are scammers, but there are a lot of agencies out here calling for people to go work abroad and stuff like that. So it's like they're creating opportunities abroad for this Kenyan youth. And now the problem comes here, finding those opportunities and the legitimacy of them. Most of them are scams, how to differentiate. And let's talk about opportunities, for example, in America, for you've been in Kenya. What you think a Kenyan youth can get from here to go and work there, and what kind of jobs, the requirements. And maybe, speaking about that, let me ask our guest here. Have you ever thought about going to maybe looking for a job elsewhere apart from Africa, maybe going to US? Yeah, you thought about that?
Yeah, sure.
So what was ringing in your mind? Why did you think about going to work in the US?
Okay, a lot of people believe that
Yeah.
in the US, there is money.
Okay.
When you think about money, of course you want to go
You want to
where
go.
you find it. Yeah.
So what is it that you think, maybe what you collected so far, what do you think is it that you can have, you as a lady, to go to US, and where exactly are you going? Because it's like someone saying, I'm going to Africa. Where exactly are you going to Africa? And to work on what exactly? What are things that you heard about going to work in the US? Because I've heard a lot of youths that I talk with. Yeah, I've seen you with this American person. Can they have a job opportunity for me there in the US? I can go work there. So for you, what is your take on that?
It depends the skills that you have and maybe the opportunities that are there in the US.
Yeah.
If there is an opportunity for, like, for example, housekeeping,
Yeah.
and you don't have the skills, of course I want to go there. But if there is something else, like let's say about media, and I have skills on media,
Yeah.
of course I will go, because that's the qualification that I have.
And now asking yourself, like, there's this an opportunity of a housekeeping or maybe caregiving, and you are a graduate from school, you are a qualified nurse, or maybe, let's say, an engineer. Do you think there will be a problem in you deciding to go work as a caregiver where you are a qualified engineer in Kenya? You're going to take the job?
You can take the job
Yeah.
because you don't have the skills on that.
Yeah.
Don't qualify.
I mean, just I'm thinking about being a caregiver that doesn't need a lot of skills. It's just something you sit in the house and maybe take care of someone who's elderly in the house. But you qualify for a bigger job and a big name job. So are you going to still say, no, I'm qualified for a bigger opportunity. I'm not going to go work in this job. Well, what are you going to do?
Of course, you go and work as a caregiver.
Are you open for that?
Yeah.
Do you think most ladies are open for that?
To make that money, right?
Yeah, so long as it's paying good amounts.
Yeah.
Of course, they will go.
All right. So what is the only struggle getting that opportunity? Maybe for you. Challenge in getting that opportunity, because if there were so many opportunity for the females to go, or maybe for someone from Kenya to just go get the job.
You know what I think one of the biggest issue is, man, with the system too?
Yeah.
Is people playing a guessing game. Is if I get this degree am I going to have an opportunity to be successful in this degree? I feel what they should do in the system is have a list of how many more people they need in certain fields. That if you go and get a degree, you got an opportunity to get some of this kind of money. Yeah. Instead of people going for a degree saying I'm going for business or I'm going for a teacher and this and that, and ain't no jobs open for a teacher anyway, why waste people time in college even doing that? What's the purpose? Okay, if you ain't got no more engineering opportunities, why are you wasting people time telling them they're going to become in study? You see, especially if they putting themselves in debt. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get this degree, for at the end of the day, it's no opportunity in the degree. You see, like, it's a hard situation, brother.
But you see what she said here, I think that is where a problem comes most of the time, a challenge, let's say. I think that's where expectation versus reality comes in. I really feel like I can't really go work as a caregiver. I'm a qualified engineer. Bro, if there's no engineering job in the US, I'm not going to do that, okay? But now find this person who is actually qualified for a bigger job, but decided to take this job as a caregiver. Let me just go to the US and try, you know?
But can I tell you this, in the US, the part you probably don't know. You got some jobs straight off the street, you make way more money than a qualified degree. I may as well tell you right now. So some of the degrees are a waste of time.
Like street jobs? Like what?
Street jobs.
Like a corner boy or something?
Listen, I know some people work in the grocery store and they make about $25 an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Then the next grocery store, they ain't make but $15. So it just depends, man. It depends on positions, and that's how it is. It's mixed up. Then you got some people got a degree. They're making $15 an hour. Bro, it's kind of... Yeah, so degrees, doesn't matter about the degree. So I would take a position, honestly, if I still was going to make some good money. It's all about the money at the end of the day, you see? Yeah. Sure. And let me tell you one thing, some of even the bigger jobs that you take, like let's say you're a doctor in America, right? Bro, a lot of doctors, man, let me tell you, if you know the work they got to do to make that kind of money, because listen, bro, it ain't easy. They're going to put pressure on you. And one thing I'm going to tell you, I noticed in Kenya, what they don't realize about the U.S. until you get there. U.S. is nothing to play with. Very fast-paced environment. If you ain't on point, just like you said, they shut all them people on Amazon, like you don't exist. Yeah, they do you just like that. Gotta go.
Yeah.
And could you imagine what your thought is gonna be after you've been working hard on this job, making this kind of money, and all of a sudden they dismiss you like you don't even exist?
Oh.
Just picture that, how painful that could be. Because that's why, me personally, I'd rather live a decent life and have a peace of mind with the small that I have, instead of being a rich person that could lose everything. Because the most richest people, whenever something happened, they be the first one to ready to out themselves. I don't want to be here no more. Because they done controlled by the money and the power and the energy. You see? I just say, bro, hey.
But now when you're down here, man, you can do anything, you know, you can do anything. Take it, bend to any law they give you. And so, you see, actually, as I say, it sounds really easy until you start doing it. For example, if you're saying the opportunities in America, you'll be working in a grocery store, you're making $15 an hour. Well, the question starts from, who do you know in America? Let's start from there. Who do you know in America that you're going to give you that job? And if you know someone, there are some requirements you need to do. Maybe apply for a passport and a visa or whatever, or something. There must be something to do for you to get there, to start working there, earning money. And right now, whatever is going on, you know, anytime you can be thrown out.
You know, one thing I would tell anybody, especially in the youth, if you really want to be successful in this world, if you get the opportunity to step foot in that door, show your best foot forward. Ambition, being passionate, and showing these people you mean business. Because I think you're going to have to stand out. It's no different, like you said, the social media hype. Why they'll pick up somebody off social media so quick? Because the hype, bro. So if you could come with the type of energy to make a person feel like, you know what, this personality is really, they're on point, They ain't playing no games. We can see them growth in this company. Comparison to the person, you might got a degree, but you still lazy with your degree. That don't mean that you're gonna do the right thing just because you got a degree. You see? So I just feel like, man, I just done seen too many people that were successful in certain environments that the next person wasn't successful with the same degree. But they call it an it factor about that person. When I say, and let me just give you for an example, African Americans, especially ladies in America, you have to have that it factor to stand out. Yeah, and if you have that about yourself, you can get positioned. I know a lady right now in America is an African American woman. And the only African American woman in the Charleston area that have built herself in position, and it's a grocery store called Publix. And if you come into that grocery store, you're going to notice nothing but Caucasians working that store. This black woman built herself into a store manager, was making $150,000 a year.
Damn.
You see? But her ambition was on a different level. It's like she was programmed to just be ambitious about that job. You see, like, so I think all that means a whole lot too, man. And positioning yourself to really climb up the ladder. If not, people just gonna be like, okay, you another option. You come into the job, you ain't doing what you need to do, so we're gonna let you go.
You know, Keoti, I believe that it's not like, for example, Kenyan youths are not really working so hard or not trying hard enough. I really think they are. Yo, go to the streets, bro. You'll see a lot of Kenyan youths trying everything, you know, going up and down, looking for this. Some of them knock offices every single day. They wake up until job hunting become your job. Every day you have to go hunting a job. And now you have done that for several days, several months and years. You finally, you feel like giving up. So sometimes I really feel like there are some things that are hidden and we are not being told, like the reality. Yeah. I mean, it's not just about qualifying and applying for these jobs. You gotta know from my angle. I think the information that are hidden from us that we need to be told. Yeah. For example, if you right here, you're thinking about going to work in America, who you gonna start approaching first? Right? There are people out here who are positioning themselves like agencies. Hey, you wanna come work in America? This is all you need to do. They get scammed, man. Send me 150,000 Kenyan shillings. I apply for you, I don't know, a visa and what.
Wow.
Man, you get washed. There's a lot of people who have been scammed in that manner. So I think everything else is messed up. Even when an opportunity comes, the people who are taking that opportunity and duplicating and making now a fake of it, and they milk a lot of money from people. So that's why you see Kenyan youths are really trying to go extra mile, creating things for themselves. Find this person who was a graduate from campus or university, but they're in the streets over there selling stuff. Selling secondhand clothes, doing stuff there, because opportunities actually for us, not really.
Wow.
So for example, you meet this Kenyan man who's telling you they want to come and work in the US. Or something you can tell them what they need to do, how, and where to approach, who to approach. What kind of jobs are there for a Kenyan person who go in there, qualifications? Because that's the problem. You don't know where to go, where to start, who to approach. What are you going to do there?
Well, that puzzles me too, man, because I really don't know, but I heard that they had some programs called, I can't remember the name of it, but
the government programs? Or just
refugee program. What exactly is the definition of refugee? Like what
refugee, I think are those people who have been displaced from their country because of maybe war or something. The immigrants are like illegal immigrants. People who have been displaced from the countries. Yeah, the immigrants, kind of refugees.
Well, I'm gonna just tell you, I just heard they had a program like that one time allowing Kenyans to come in the U.S. Me personally, I don't exactly know what they do, but it's a lot of Kenyans in the United States. A lot of Africans in like the South Dakota area and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's connections or who they connect with to get the opportunity, but if you ever get an opportunity in the U.S., because you don't play with that, brother. Hey, because the U.S. is not easy to get in. I could just tell you that for sure. So I don't really know, man. I don't know where to tell them to go to look.
Or maybe have you ever had someone telling you, maybe someone from the US, a man telling you to get married to them to get because that's maybe the easiest way to get there as a lady, right?
Yeah, that about the easy. Now I heard that now,
Yeah.
but I don't want to tell nobody do that because
What?
yeah, because honestly, I even had a lady one time approach me. She's Egyptian, and she was in the States, and she asked me. She said, "Listen, won't you marry me, and then I could get citizenship,
And
and after citizenship, then we could go ahead and think." Because she said, "I want to open up a laundromat, and I got to get the citizenship." So I guess she was down there visiting, and the guy won't marry her. I said, "No, I'm not doing that."
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen
then
that.
she wanted to offer me $20,000 American dollars.
Damn.
Yeah, but I didn't do it, bro. I said, "Nah, I'm good, man. You can get somebody else." But she got somebody else to do it because she still got her laundromat.
Last time we were talking about the Russian guy, I remember watching one clip, and the lady was really telling this guy, "Take me to Russia. Take me to Russia. You have your passport? Do you have some money? Do you have a flight ticket? I'll get that. Take me there." I mean, I don't think it's something that we've been programmed to think.
Yeah.
Get that.
Well, don't get it twisted. Like America, for an example, it does. The job opportunity in America is on overload. You get in the U.S., let me tell you one thing, cuz you probably got 1,000 jobs open up waiting on you. And the sad part about it, a lot of people in the U.S., they don't even want to work. It's crazy, man. Like, bro, they come, they lazy at the job, they don't want to work, and they got the opportunity. Now, people over here wish they could get the jobs, and they can't get in the U.S. to get it. That's the sad thing about the way this world turned, brother.
But one thing I know about like Kenyan youths, they really hardworking, bro.
Oh,
if
yeah,
they get a chance to work, for example, in the military, you'll see there, Kenyan youths who are working for maybe American military. Those people are the one on the front line.
Yeah,
And they have a very good track record. I really think it's just to get there. Get there. How many Kenyans have you seen here? They want that job, even here. But if you find someone to take you there, as right now, if you're in Kenya and you tell someone you're an American, marry me, take me there, I'll go work there. So, what can you tell a lady who is maybe thinking about marrying an American man to get a job opportunity? Is it a good move? I mean, for the job, like this lady really don't care about this guy. No. She really doesn't even care about him. She just want to get a job. I mean, I'll be struggling in Kenya, being taken advantage of. Let me just go there.
I mean, it depends on, I guess, if they come up with an agreement with the situation. Like, what's his position? Like, is she want to be with him like that, or they just got this understanding? I don't know, man.
I mean, the guy doesn't have to have a job, or he doesn't have to have something to offer her. She just needs to get to America by through this guy. After getting there, she can go start applying for small jobs there, advancing.
If she could get somebody to do that, I mean, I ain't gonna sit there and tell you no lie. America is the land of opportunity, and you get over there, you gonna win. I mean, to be real with you, as long as you don't got no bad record, you gonna get a job regardless. That's just how many openings, so.
Yo, can you marry an American man to get an opportunity over there?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I want a job.
Yeah.
No.
So how will you be living with this guy, knowing that you don't really love him and you just wanted a job?
No.
How do you think your life is going to be?
Okay, so long as I'm getting married to this man, and then later on we divorce.
Will he agree to do that?
If he agrees, okay.
I mean, what if he knows your game? I mean, he knows that this is the game you want to play with him. What do you think is going to happen?
Of course, he won't allow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, unless they just straight up with each other, y'all come to agreement, I guess, and he doesn't understand.
Maybe talk things out, huh?
Yeah, because I feel like in life sometime, bro, it's not even about... See, the problem is with people is this. whatever your perception of you so-called in a relationship, that's your perception, but that don't have to be the situation. I mean, y'all could have a different kind of understanding, like, hey, and y'all just do whatever's necessary for you to be successful. You make him happy, he make you happy, and hey, life goes on, because no relationship is promised today or tomorrow anyway. Y'all might only have a temporary relationship a few years, and then boom, you gonna move on. You see, like, it just depends on how you set things up, man. I'm a very open-minded person in life, because one thing I do realize, okay, you could say you going to the U.S. because you in a relationship, a so-called relationship with this man, but it don't work out anyway. Like, why y'all just don't come up with an agreement and guess? I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. Got to roll with the flow and how the flow rolling. I guess, bro. That's the only thing I could tell you, instead of faking it and see what happens, you know? Yeah. Because even for an example, let me just tell you something. I know women in America. I don't know how these men do it, but they'll have a woman they're dealing with, but then they have somebody called a mistress too. And it's like the woman don't care. She don't even care. Like, I don't know. And the guy in the situation is taking care of the mistress too. And I'm not saying that that's a route that women should take, but I'm just telling you the stuff that take place. You'll be surprised, man. Yeah. And I don't know why certain people do things the way they do, but they do it. You see? Maybe they did it because they wanted to see greener pastures. Maybe this mistress woman is there temporary. She could come back and forth in the U.S. She goes to work or whatever, and she supplies money back at home. It'd be anything. You'd be surprised why people go to other countries. And
right now, I don't know if you have an idea what is happening. For example, in your country, a lot of maybe, let's say, immigrants. Can I say that? They're being deported back to their countries and stuff. ICE is working, you know. So what do you think is happening? Does it not poke fear in people who want to find an opportunity over there? Because anytime you can be thrown out. Yeah. Is it not?
Oh, you're saying Kenyans being deported back?
Yeah, from America. If you're there.
Yeah, only thing I tell anybody, the best thing to do while you're there, make as much money as you can and live back in Kenya, just in case if you get deported. Because at least if you last there 2 years, you can make a lot of money, you see? But you just got to be smart with your money. Maybe be with someone, maybe rent a room, make as much money as you can, and build up in Kenya and come back. You see what I mean? Like you saying the deport part. But before they wasn't deporting as much. So it's kind of almost like you got to make the opportunity while you can. That's the best I can tell you.
And is there not restrictions or regulations of how much money you can send back to your country from America? If I get to America today and I happen to get around $1 million somewhere, and I wanted to send that money to Kenya, do you really think it's going to be possible for me to get that money landing in my country without really being locked, or maybe?
No, I would say as long as you got a job to show what you're doing to make the money, but you got to pay taxes. Yeah. They're going to want a piece of the pie, you see? It's going to be something, and okay, well, you want some of this money too. So you got to roll with the flow. As long as you give them their money, then you can go and send it back, do what you got to do. Because I don't see nothing wrong with if you in America working for some years and you want to send some money back to Kenya to maybe build up a house in the village, you see? Like I got a female friend right now, when she did, and actually I'm the one that helped her get a passport. She going to Dubai and she building an 8-bedroom house for her mom. Wow. She had a kid in the village. You see, so she don't have no issue doing that, you see? But she went to work in Dubai. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Yeah. So there's no problem. And I told her, my opinion, the best thing to do is save as much money as you can. So if you come back to Kenya and you live in a village, the house done build, live your life, you good. It is what it is. You see, make the money while you can, while you're over there, just in case. Yeah. Because she actually got into Dubai before all this is happening. You know, now it's hard for Kenyans to get in Dubai. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so because I don't know, I guess because they say they going there, they're not coming back. So I just say while the doors are open for opportunity, you better go ahead and make what you can. And hey, if you get deported back, it is what it is. At least you were smart with your money.
You made a sound.
You may,
Yeah.
because it's what you do with the money, bro. Yeah.
I don't know what is a female perspective of creating your own opportunity in Kenya. Okay, if you can't find this opportunity somewhere else, and you go to offices, every boss wants to sleep with you, and maybe we have people telling you, create your own job, create your own opportunity, create something. What are kind of those things that I mean,
bro, let me just tell you something, man.
Yeah.
That's a hard situation, especially for a lady to create her own opportunity. Unless she really understand that business is going to be lucrative. It's going to really make some money. I know right now as we speak, a lady that's trying to create a... I didn't mean it like that, bro. Create her own opportunity as we speak right now. Number one, she came down from almost by Tanzania to Nairobi to, I guess, to the wholesale place to get clothes. And now she don't got so many clothes in the store, and everybody passing her. She got like 6 pants in the store. I told her,
that's painful.
Like, you need to go ahead and get you a job. Go back on a job or something, because she was a waitress, and I feel bad for her because she said the boss didn't pay her in 3 months. That's wrong. So she's trying to create her own opportunity, but it ain't easy, man.
It's not.
It's not easy.
Wait, what's your take on that? Like, you go finding a job and you can't find, and you hear people saying create your own opportunities. What can you, in your thinking, what do you think maybe a Kenyan female can do to create an opportunity, and why do you think maybe some stuff like that cannot work? The challenges in that. What's your take on that?
For me, I would say that it's good to have different skills.
You add more volume. Yeah.
Like, you should try to have skills on something, because some of these things they do happen this way. A lot of people feel to tell us, but that's the reality on how things are on the ground. If you have different skills, you will be able to make a job opportunity for yourself. If you fail to be employed under your qualifications, at least you'll have something that you can create for yourself when you have a different skill.
Yeah. For example, what kind of skills that someone can have and start creating their own opportunities?
You can have skills on marketing.
Yeah.
For now, you can go to your phone and maybe learn about marketing.
Yeah.
And maybe start up a business of selling clothes. Yeah.
What about opening a TikTok channel and start dancing? And it's not actually funny because you've seen a lot of females right now, TikToker. You only need you to buy a ring light, a ring light, position your camera over there. Do what you gotta do, man. Entice those people and send you gifts and stuff, because nobody's going there to give you a job. So sit there with your camera and create something for yourself. So that's why you see right now the TikTok and those platforms are flooded with a lot of people.
And that's an example of what you're talking right there. And the crazy thing about life is the hard-working people really working hard and not getting an opportunity like a lot of TikTok celebrities. Like, for an example, what I was talking on the last podcast about somebody I dealt with in the past. How you think she make her money? I know somebody, a guy from the U.S. got her in a 5-bedroom, $70K a month bungalow. You see? And that was she. Now, and I asked her, I said, man, how you get them guys to give you that money like they just like the way I dance? That's something to think about. She said, matter of fact, I got me 4 lions the other day. You see?
Damn.
Yeah, she said I just got 4 lions just the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, that's
and how much is a lion? You know that? A TikTok lion. How much is one?
50K.
50,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
So you have 4, bro.
Well, let me
that's a doctor's salary, bro.
Yeah.
I see.
Bro, listen, let me just tell you the truth, bro. I saw her one night, and I was there. And I saw her make $3,000 American
Damn.
in less than 1 hour.
Yeah.
I say, oh my God, this is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like this. And she just been on live.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Yeah, so it's just...
But now imagine this. There's this person here who's struggling to get a job and create her own opportunity. And she was surfing through the internet. So a TikToker sitting there doing nothing, just maybe standing and dancing a little bit, or maybe talking to those male. They tell her, stand up, give us 360. And she does that. And the lion comes through.
50K.
Don't you think that it will have an influence on this other lady to try doing that?
Of course.
And so what is going to happen maybe in the next couple of years, everyone else is going to start doing stuff. There's a very high rise in those adult contents, OnlyFans and stuff like that. People are flooding the content of there because it's paying.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to go the hardest way. This one is the road and it's paying. I'm going there.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a living witness of the situation, bro, because, hey, me personally, I couldn't even stay up with the internet. I told her, I said, listen, okay, cool, no pressure. Since you feel I ain't good enough as a man for you, cool. You go ahead and get your lions and Stellas and it was something else. What that other big gift they get?
Universe.
The universe. Yeah. You go and get your universes and stuff. It is what it is. You see, so bro, like the internet is something else. It's definitely something else. And it's just the fact that that's what's killing a lot of job opportunities for people. Because you think about it, they're gonna say, well, man, this person making all this money, I can't get no job. Let me go do the same thing too.
Sometimes I look at it from a positive point of view. Like, I mean, if you can't find someone else to do, are you going to kill yourself? No. Get a ring light. Yeah. Start doing content, YouTube is here. Yeah. There are a lot of females who are doing YouTube content, lifestyle content in the house, morning routine and stuff like that, cooking content. Yeah. One of those good content that you'll never go wrong with. So if everyone else is maybe elevating or maybe trying to leveraging towards the internet, I mean, there's a bunch of opportunities here people are creating for themselves.
That's true.
Yeah. So I will say, man, sometimes it really doesn't have to be something that makes sense. It reaches a point where you have to do anything you gotta do, bro, to survive. Because if you can't put food on your table, who's gonna do that for you?
That's true.
Nobody. So that person who is doing that on TikTok and getting the money and paying her bills or his bills and living a life, I don't think they're way better, because I ain't gonna judge them and say, oh, you're doing something. I know, bro. I mean, you've worked. If you ask maybe her story or maybe this guy's story, they've gone several offices looking for jobs. Nobody's offering a job for them.
But my thing is, how could you judge someone and money make the world turn? You got to pay bills.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but the truth is the truth. You got to pay bills by any means necessary, So you're going to judge this person and they making money, and this person ain't making no money. You think they're going to listen to you because the money going to talk and that BS going to walk. You did. Come on, cuz. Let's be real. Okay, well, cool. You lost your house. I still got mine. So keep judging.
You're a qualified doctor. You got fired.
Yeah.
And I got this of mine with a ring light.
Yeah.
And I'm making much money than you.
And I'm sitting in the house. Yeah. And let me tell you, the thing about it, for an example, when I see her, she wasn't dancing all the time. She was making that money. They just look at her other videos. But she got on there, and all she do was sit on there the whole time,
and just speaking
and talking. Boom, universe drop.
Yeah.
Another lion. Boom. And then guess what? You know what she do once that? She start yelling. Yay!
Yo, somebody told me. Somebody said somewhere, told someone that sometimes you gotta use your unfair advantages.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what is that? So they told me, for example, this is a female, right? She's a lady. If right now we are two men here and one female, and there is a job opportunity here that is being offered here, and if we go 3 of us, it's highly possible that she's going to be picked and we're going to be left out.
Oh, yeah.
So she has that advantage over us, the man. So why don't she use it? Like, just go there, smile, have the job.
That's
right? I'm not saying that go sleep with that guy, but use it. And now, for example, she's beautiful and she can open a camera and do a TikTok and get the lions. Use that unfair advantages, bro. Use it.
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna feed you? Use it.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not trying to be an advisor, wrong advisor, but sometimes you gotta do what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's not, you know what I always tell people, bro? It's not even about being a wrong advisor, bro. Like, because what about the females on there that's making a whole lot of money through it and being successful? Like, how could you tell somebody what's right from wrong, bro? Like, hey.
And she has money more than you.
Yeah, you got way more money than you. You see? And you sitting there struggling like, wait a minute here. Nah, this ain't adding up. And I hate to say that, but that's just the way the world turns.
And it's not really like how hard someone can work. Right now, people are really working less.
Yeah.
And they're just playing smart in the streets and making a lot of money. So,
and that just,
they'll be street smart.
All about that hype, brother. Become that celebrity.
You're there.
Yeah.
But we got to admit that not everyone is going to succeed the same way. Okay, you saw this person succeeded as a TikToker. You don't drop from school coming out to start being a TikToker because not all of you gonna be successful in that field. What's your take on that?
My take on that, I'd like someone to take the risk. Take the risk. If you have that opportunity, you just use it well. But you don't have to drop out of school trying to maybe compare yourself with someone else. Because
there is this thing that I've been preached out here about escaping the matrix. Don't get twisted like I'll go to school, get qualification, apply for jobs. You don't work no more. Drop out of school. What are you gonna say about that?
Pardon?
I mean, okay, some people will be talking about escaping the matrix, escaping. Don't go with the system. You want to go to school, but somehow someone is telling you, don't waste your time going to college. You don't have to go there. You can be successful in other ways. So when you're speaking about that, tell me about it too.
I feel like you should still go to that college.
Yeah.
And get the papers. Because in some departments, in some places, it's a must you have the papers. A lot of people tell us that papers doesn't matter. But in the ground, in the reality, papers matters.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, you got to have that paperwork to be looked at. That's true. That's true. Well, my take on that, you just got to make sure if you're working hard for that paperwork, it's a high demand on that job opportunity. You know, that's just the key.
Sure.
Like, let me ask you for an example. Are nurses in high demand in Kenya? Nurses?
Yeah.
So I would say you go to school for something like that, nurse. Don't go to school for something that ain't nothing available. And a lot of people do that, you see? Yeah. Especially the ones that I hear them say, I'm going to school for business. I say, okay, so I mean, I get it, but like, man, you know, it's just hard for me to accept what school going to teach you with business, because I always tell people, like, I am the business. I'm the brand.
Yeah.
You see? So, and this is something you have to build for yourself: reputation, personality, ambition, drive, motivation. You see? What you going to do to get out there to put your name out there where people going to respect you and want to try you out and see what you're about. You see? All that matters. And then once you don't get some customers, you might be drawn in because your personality. How do you treat the customers? How do you keep the customers coming to you? You see, it's a lot when it comes to business too, you see?
Yeah.
And I say that because I done seen so many people say they went to college for business, and then when they get out, they still don't work for no company with business. They still don't have a business. All they did was waste their time and energy. But if you went to college made for nursing, you had more opportunity. You see?
Yeah.
Got the paperwork? Okay, boom, interview. Time to work.
Yeah, that's cool. So you did not finish your point. Go ahead. What are you talking about?
Okay, that was my main point. Like, you just have to go and get the papers.
Yeah. And when now you don't get the job that you qualify for, what's going to be like a next move? Because now somebody is giving up. They've been trying so for so long, had enough, and they can't seem to see something like success ahead of them. What you going to tell them to do? Like, this is your fellow female, been trying so hard. They went to school, they have the papers, they can't find a job. So you can tell them.
Okay, what I would say is just go get another job to sustain you, but you keep on trying until the job that you have the degree in, you have an open door. Because there's plenty of jobs out here. Let's just say, for an example, hey, you might just have to settle to say, let me work at Nivis for right now. You sustaining, you paying the bills, but you keep pushing until you actually use your degree.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I gotta start somewhere. Don't just say I'm gonna give up because they're not giving me an opportunity on my degree. Maybe they don't have no opportunities open right now, but that don't mean they ain't gonna have some open 6 months from now, you see? Yeah, that's what I would say, because it ain't no jobs out here. Come on now. I mean, hey, I see people working all over the place. You see? Yeah, so sometimes you just gotta go in a different direction until you could actually walk through the doors that you work hard for. You see? Yeah.
Well,
basically, your life don't stop because the degree ain't working at the moment. Because guess what? Even let's just say you went to work at Nivis, you've been there a year. Maybe that would been a great thing too, because now you done develop even more better customer service and dealing with people more. So once you done finally get let's just say you had this nursing degree, now you get in the hospital, your personality on a whole different level. And you might have learned that through even being at Nivis. You see what I'm saying? Instead of you just sitting at home and say, let me wait till this door is open. You still got to get that money one way or another. You see? So hey, so it ain't only one road to travel. You see?
Yeah, sure. And I really think that the reason why most people say females have high chances of getting jobs more than men, I think, is because, for example, in Kenya, that thing is so common. I think it's because of the same point we talked about being taken advantage of. But how we are looking for this job, the boss is not going to give me a job, he's going to give this lady, because he knows keeping her close, he can use her, he can, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why you say.
Well, that's definitely true too, because you think about it, what can we men really offer the boss?
Apart from the job itself.
You see, I mean, especially a pretty lady come through the door. By nature, he gonna be like, wow.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna give him the job over her?
It's not happening. Even if she's not qualified enough, I'm gonna give her.
Yeah.
It's bad. But it's okay, man. I think that's basically what's happening around the world, and I think being open-minded is another thing.
Yeah.
Just be open-minded, be ready to try stuff, And at least one thing I can say based on where I sit, I think it's cool to be flexible and adjust. Be speedy. Things are running quick, fast. Things that used to work for people like 2010, they're not working no more. This 2026. After 5 years from now, it's going to be a whole different thing. Okay, so you're going to be able to adjust. If people are moving to the digital platform, that's where the money is. Go there. If another opportunity has come in, jump on them. Okay, yeah, be flexible, because right now people are making some decent money from the houses. They don't have to leave the house. But if someone is telling, no, you have to go and to do this type of job, gotta try something different, something new, and be open to learn new skills. And just try to create that network with the right people. Because you surround yourself with a bunch of losers, gonna teach you nothing. Yeah, because energy is contagious. You teach me something, tomorrow I teach you something. But you have nothing to teach me, you're gonna teach me some BS. Next tomorrow I'm behaving like a lunatic. But it is what it is. It was really nothing. It was nice having you here. I think we're gonna have to summarize our conversation. From you and the lady will finish up, and I can tell our subscribers what is next for them. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so pretty much, man, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate the opportunity to express myself in here again. How I feel about the youth and job opportunities, and best I could tell anybody, man, and it all, no matter if you went to college or not, it's always other opportunities out there until you could use the degree that you went for. Don't stop just because your degree not working at the moment, you see? At least you still got that paperwork in position till a day of opportunity open, you see?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Don't stop there, and gotta keep going. And like I say, man, that's supernatural. That's a deep topic a lot of people don't understand. But yeah. Sometimes you gotta have that faith beyond how you thinking in the moment about the situation. Don't get discouraged and keep on pushing, bro. Because it's hard for me to even tell you, say that, okay, nobody got an opportunity out here to make money. That because I can't say that ain't true, man. There's too many people working and being successful, brother.
Sure.
Yeah. But do you have that mindset that you're gonna keep on pushing regardless? No, if the only job they would have tell you that you could have get was the one you had paperwork for, then I could have talked different. But if you go work another job, let's say you're gonna work a job that you could just put an application in, just go there temporary until you get the job with your degree. That's it. And one thing, ladies, let me tell y'all something. Do not, because a boss try to manipulate y'all just because of a job opportunity, don't lower y'all standards like that. Do not lower your standards just because of money. Because not everybody like that. In my opinion, I'm going to be real. Y'all ladies need to report that boss anyway. Y'all need to put, that ain't cool. That's the most disrespect I could ever heard in the world, man. Don't use your position and power, man, to be doing that kind of stuff to ladies, man. And I don't agree with that, brother. Because when my friend told me that, I say, what? That was unbelievable to me, man. Hey, you try that in America if you want to see what happens. You're in a lot of trouble, brother. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's one place that don't play. Okay.
Thank you, man. What's your name again? Remind people. Maybe they've forgotten. You know, you today you did not speak a lot. Maybe is it your first podcast? Okay. You decide. Maybe you got intimidated by this guy. Well, give your take to people who are listening to you.
I'm Tiana.
Yeah.
Giving up into the solution. Like, keep on knocking those doors. Keep on pushing and pressing until you make it.
Sure. Yeah. Very short and precise. Like anyway, it was a nice episode. You know, sometimes you got to talk about real matters that are affecting us in real life, you know, things that are relatable to every person out there. You know, being a youth in Kenya, I've gone through a lot, you know. For me to figure out something to stick on it and start doing it, you have to try a lot of things. I've tried a lot of things, you know. So I talk about, people go to the internet to try to find an idea. Maybe listening to this can have somebody changing their mind or start working on something different. So, this is something that, maybe if you're in a position that you can offer someone a job opportunity or maybe guide someone, please, you know, do so without really expecting a lot from them and trying to take advantage of them because it's not cool. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say. And thank you for watching. I guess I'll be seeing you in the next episode, you know. My name is JT. This is JT Podcast, in case I didn't introduce myself from the beginning. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
All right.